Hey y'all, Roxanne here. For today's video, I thought I would show you what I do as a COVID long hauler whenever I've had a close proximity exposure to COVID-19. That's right, your girl's currently under quarantine. So let's get to it. Automatic disclaimer, this is not any kind of medical advice. This is simply what I'm doing as a COVID long hauler, and it's kind of mixed in with some things that I've always been doing, especially when I was at the height of my, fitness game and working out and taking vitamins and counting macros and all of that stuff. But now that I have been dealing with COVID for the last 14 months, these are things that I've brought back into my life and consistently do. Like, I take a mad load of vitamins, and basically now that I know that I've had a close proximity exposure, I'm just upping those. So to jump right in, I just wanted to show you, I literally just keep it real. I brought out my camping kit and am using this to help me sort through what exactly I'm gonna share with you. So let's jump into it. So at the top of every list that I've seen for recommended supplements to help keep COVID away, but then also help you recover from COVID, is vitamin D. I think that early on, I remember reading that a lot of the people who had really severe COVID or who ended up as long haulers tended to be vitamin D deficient, and yep, that's my story. I just had blood work done, and despite taking 5,000 IUs of vitamin D, getting it from, fatty fish and egg yolks and things like that, and then also spending time in the sun trying to get it through absorption there, I'm still on the lower end of the spectrum. So if you suspect at all that you might be deficient in vitamin D, this definitely tops the recommended supplement list. So the second supplement that's on just about everybody's list as far as, things to take to stay healthy, to keep colds and flus and all of the icky stuff away is vitamin C. So this one's a no-brainer. This is one that I generally just keep on hand. This is actually a slow release one, and it's 1,000 milligrams. And sometimes I remember to take it, sometimes I don't, because you're supposed to take it with food, and I'm really bad about that. I usually take all of my vitamins at once. So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. The other one that I've taken, especially as, the numbers are creeping up and people tend to be getting sick left, right, and center, is Emergency. This is one that I keep on hand. I don't love the orange flavor, but it's the only one I have. The berries, I tend to like those more, but like I said, orange is what I've got. So the Emergency 1,000 milligrams, that's definitely another one that I keep on hand. And then this one is a powder that was recommended to me by my nutritionist that I saw a few years ago. This one, I can actually feel it working in my body, which I like, but it's also just very, very potent. So this one I would say take, but also be careful with it. I generally sprinkle this in my water and use it to kind of flavor it without sugar to stay hydrated. The third supplement that I've seen that is on a lot of lists to, just stay healthy and keep COVID at bay and keep all of the other things at bay as well is zinc. And I'll be straight up and tell you this stuff is nasty. I don't like it. If I don't have an exposure or I'm like feeling like a little bit off or my symptoms aren't flaring, I don't take this because it tastes nasty. But this is a 15 milligram lozenge. I think you're supposed to suck on it. I chew it just to get through it really fast because, yeah. The other version that I have is a tincture, but I don't know where it is. So I can't take that one. I might need to buy it again because I've heard the liquid form is a little easier to take. And then the third way that I have it is actually in this calcium, magnesium, zinc vitamin that I totally lost my word. Vitamin that I put into my pill box and I take every night. And this one also has D3 in it. So it's a bunch of things all together, but it ensures that I get all of those all together. So another supplement that I take that isn't on, I don't think it's on anybody's top 10 list, but it might be. I feel like I've seen it in other places because it's supposed to help with the absorption of other minerals, is magnesium. So this is a supplement that I take at night. It helps me sleep, but it also just helps me manage my stress levels. The other version that I take is Calm, and this is one that I think both of these actually I got in Sprouts, or you can probably find it at any, natural grocer type of store. It's also available on Amazon. So, but it helps with stress. And I think that one of the things that kind of got me in trouble as far as my first round of COVID was that I was under a lot of stress, and therefore my immune system was compromised. So definitely something that I personally take, especially now that I know that there's been an exposure, and it just kind of helps me to chill out. The other thing with this Calm, be careful which version you get. There's one of them that is an actual laxative, like at your own risk, do that one. But this one does not have that effect. While editing, I realized that I forgot to mention B complex. It's a supplement that I've been taking for a while at the recommendation of a nutritionist I saw a few years ago, but it also has been recommended to me by my neurologist that I've seen in the post-COVID clinic. This is one that's being studied as well by scientists as a supplement that might help with boosting and supporting your immune system. So I'm including it here, and we'll link to documentation below. But now let's get back to the list. I would say one of the last things that I definitely have been paying attention to is hydration. I want to make sure that I'm hydrated because dehydration makes all kinds of bad things worse, especially viruses. I've found, especially COVID, my symptoms flare when I am dehydrated. So I try to be really, really mindful of how much water I'm drinking. And, sometimes water is boring. So I know that a lot of people use this hydration multiplier that you can get at Costco. I think you can probably get it on Amazon because you can get everything on Amazon. But this is something that when I'm not paying attention to how much sugar I'm intaking, because I think the number one ingredient is probably, it's sugar, this is something that it tastes good, and it's something that is really helpful. The other thing that I do is I drink a lot of tea. Maybe one day I'll share some of my teas that I'm drinking right now, but this is a tea that I've been drinking, especially since being exposed to COVID. It's an immune and stress booster, or immune booster and stress diffuser. So it tastes really good. I generally just add agave, to it, or monk fruit to it. And I found this is really helpful with making sure that I'm drinking enough water, especially when water is boring. So the last thing that I'm doing is controversial for some people. Honestly, not sure why, but I'm actually wearing a mask at home. So in addition to quarantining and just kind of passing my housemates in the night, we kind of text each other when we're going to be in the kitchen and that kind of stuff, just to try to minimize exposure. We're making sure we're cleaning all surfaces. And then also just, masking up while we're at home because there's a known exposure, and they have a baby, and we want to make sure that he stays healthy. So this is something that helps me also stop touching my face, because I touch my face all the time. It's one of the reasons why I'm not bothered about wearing this in public, because people are nasty, and it helps me not touch my face after I touch stuff. So with that being said, please, in this season, take care of yourself. Do all of the things that you can to boost your immune system. Stay hydrated, get your vitamin D, all of the things that are being recommended. I'm actually getting tested for COVID tomorrow. If that is positive, I trust that you will know, because your girl will not be excited. But if I am positive, then this isn't bad. Like, I honestly have not had crazy symptoms at all, and I'm super grateful for that. If I'm not positive and the antibodies and the vaccine have done what they're supposed to do, then I'm super, super grateful. I would love to know, what other remedies do you have that you use to stay healthy? I know that people do all kinds of stuff, and it's been really fascinating to learn from other folks what they do, especially with herbs and things like that. So if you have recommendations for me, I'd love to hear those as well. And with that, that's all I have. So today I'm going to say that I'm really thankful for my hospital care team. I got to go and get blood work done, and it showed that I do not have an autoimmune disorder that was triggered by COVID. Thank you, Jesus. I'm going to say thank you for snow, because we finally got some here in Colorado, and it's sticking, and hopefully it will help in reducing the fires and all of that good stuff, or not so good stuff, that has been in the news recently. And then third, I'm just going to say I'm grateful for a new year. So that's it. If you found anything useful in this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.